What are you doing there, Russ?
Well, I'm thinking of starting a striping business. Apparently, I've got 33% of the equipment I need. Measuring tape. I need a can of spray paint. And what's the other item?
I don't know. I don't really. That's it.
I guess.
Oh, no, he has the machine. The machine.
Oh, the machine.
The machine.
Yeah, yeah.
There he is. His name is Dan Zurcher. He's with American Striping Company. And he wrote, do we have a copy of his book, Jared, that we can put up on the screen? Because it's the longest title in the history of any book. It's called How I Stripe a Parking Lot 15 Years by Myself by Dan Zurcher. That is fantastic, Dan. Congratulations. So first of all, let's get the book out there, and I'm going to tweet this out to our 60,000 social media followers.
There's another. And I have a more recent cover.
There's a better. I think that's a pretty damn good cover.
Yeah, yeah.
So So I think the big piece of this thing we need to understand is that this is a business that if you need extra income, or if you are, like for our Armed Forces radio audience, for example, these guys are 42, these gals are 43 years old. They've been in the military for 20 years. They don't have enough of a retirement income coming from the military, yet they are quote unquote retired. Yeah. This is a great business for those guys, something like that. This is good business for anybody who's got some spare time. But let's talk to us about the metrics of this thing. Talk to us about the cost of the machine. Talk to us about how you get clients. Talk to us how to, how difficult is it? And the first one, I'd be afraid of the first time I go out. Because, unless you have a one-size-fits-all manual, don't you have to drive out or fly out and see everybody? Can you teach people how to do this, just via phone, email, and telephone and Skype?
One of the best things is the machine is about $5,000 if it's in a perfect world. If you can't afford that, there's another one that I'd say $1,500. Just get started. Pick one of those machines. As far as striping straight, the nice thing about it was my first few jobs, you get to drive by the business and you'll see 7 stripes and maybe a handicap stencil, and you think, I can do that. Or a pizza shop that has 20 stripes and 2 handicap stencils. You're not surprised. You can go in just, and back in the day, 27 years ago, Al Gore hadn't invented the internet, so I went in door to door and said, can I stripe your parking lot? And back in the day, it was $100. And they said yes. So I came back after hours, knocked it out, and we snapped chalk lines, and there are some tricks of the trades there, but just picture snapping a chalk line.
Yeah.
Picture a lawn. Go ahead.
Well, no, go, so he's got a chalk line?
I got the chalk line.
So Russ has got 2/3 of the business
Yeah,
now.
I got the measuring tape. We got that. Chalk line.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how do you get the clients? Let's say you go to a Target store, or you go to one of those small strip malls that you talked about that's got 20 stripes and two handicap stencils. How do you knock on that door these days in the year 2018?
In my book, the best way to start is find a self-standing building where the owner or decision maker is inside. Places of worship fit that bill. You can walk in and that person's going to say yes or no. Self-standing buildings where the owner is inside. The second phase.
Yeah, because you don't want to go through a property manager because that just adds to the layers,
or
right?
a committee, or
right.
Yeah.
And it could be me or you 5 states away that own that fast food chain. So
right.
you're not going to find that person. But a bank is another idea. Go into a bank and they're not going to want to see you. Just give my card and say, could you pass this along? I stripe parking lots. And they're always seeming like, yep, that's great. They'll take it and walk away. The owner or the decision maker isn't in there. But if you get one bank, you might get 3. So
that's like the hand grenade bomb, though. Like you don't hear anything for 3. All of a sudden, 3 months later, he calls you up. Hey, you left your car here. I got 4 parking lots for you. That's kind of how that works, isn't it?
That is exactly right. And then the next phase would be after you're out there, it's like any other business. You might make, in my first year I wrote in my book, I made $5,000. The next year was $13,000, then it was 30, then 60, then one kept 6 figures and moving on. And the way it picked up was people would see me on the road and say, dude, is this your business? Yes, this is my empire right here. Pick up truck, trailer, machine, and that's all it is. Next thing you know, a seal coater or a paving company saw me and wanted me to follow them. So it grows like that, grows like perhaps any other business. But starting out, like you say, might be door to door on jobs you think you can handle. Self-standing building, the owner's inside.
I'll tell you what. I think there's a whole other market here, Rusty Nails, and that's for the teenage driver. I had 2. I've got 2 daughters in college now. When we were teaching them how to drive, I'm going to tell you, I would have paid good money to have a parking stripe in my garage or on the driveway,
yeah,
just to say, okay, hey, knuckleheads, because let me tell you what, when you don't raise a good parker, they're always a bad parker.
Yep.
And I'll tell you the biggest crime you could make is when you're pulling into a parking space and you don't take the time to back up and straighten up, because if you just cut the other guy off and now I'm pinned in my car, and then now I got to be a Cirque du Soleil gymnast to get in the damn thing.
And it's a domino effect too. The next guy has to park like an A-wad and such and such.
So this is what I do. Can I tell you my story on how I?
You bought a can of white paint and made your own stripe in every park. Yeah,
I've done that before.
Yeah.
No, this is what I do. I've told this on national radio. I've told this on regional radio here in San Diego, all the way up to LA. You get one of those yellow construction crayons. Okay, you get it at Home Depot.
Yep.
Much like the construction crayon, probably our very own Dan Zurcher has.
Right.
For certain reasons. It's kind of a waxy, big old thick construction crayon. And you write on the window of the car next to you, "I am an a-hole. I can't park. I'm an idiot." Whatever. Everyone. And by the way, you can't wipe it off. You need a razor blade to get it. It doesn't do permanent damage, but it'll teach them. You have to drive with their windows down. I try not to block their field of vision.
Sure, you're considerate.
Because I'm very concerned about their safety. But I do put something like right in the back, ican'tpark.org.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't had to do it for a while, but I've done it probably 100 times in my life. And I will tell you, I've got emails all over the country of people, "I got my yellow crayon out." You put it in your glove. Listen, those guys. Listen, we need to start. Because there's a website called aholesparking.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's those guys. Okay?
I'd be worried too about buying cheap paint, and then after you've done striping, you see a couple like tire tread marks in white, kind of, oops.
Yeah.
That go off before. You know, you want the paint to be dry.
Yes.
Are there advances in paint since you started 58 years ago? What was it?
Yes. Yeah, there are. The only time we change paints is for weather and quick drying. You go the line that you would buy is go to your local paint store or your well-known paint store and ask for traffic paint, or that's it. It's just the line striping traffic paint.
And you need a passport and a driver's license, birth certificate to paint these days.
Right. They don't want you tagging.
They don't want you tagging. Last of all, is there enough parking lots in a given city to keep you busy, my friend?
In my city, 2.5 million people. Everything's a parking lot. It's all business to business, all yellow or all white. It's nothing spectacular. No weird colors. Yeah, there are. Every city, every municipality has parking lots. Every city.
So the long story short here is that this is an opportunity for everyone. And of course, if you want more information, it's super simple. Go pick up a copy of his book. Guys, show the book again one more time, or you can go over to his website, which is AmericanStriping.com, How I Stripe a Parking Lot. Dan Zurcher. Dan, I'd love to have you back. Man. That was awesome. It was really a pleasure meeting you. And there is our small biz America.
There you go.
For today.
6K, you're on the way. Yellow, white, are there others? Blue. Those are the three colors you're going to need to do it, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yellow, white, and blue. That's exactly right. Hey.